Now, Nigeria has always been home to incredible talents and also creativity. But in recent years, we've seen our people push the boundaries in ways that make the world take notice. From athletes and performers to innovators and also artists. Nigerians are breaking records, redefining limits, and also leaving an indelible mark on the global stage. Today, we focus on the extraordinary feats of two Nigerians whose achievements highlight both passion and also perseverance. These individuals who dedicate themselves not just to personal glory, but to inspiring others, to showcasing culture and also proving that with discipline, imagination, and resilience, the impossible can become reality. Whether it's staying awake and performing non-stop for 50 hours or crafting the longest documentary film ever made, their journeys offer lessons in patience, dedication, and the power of chasing your dreams to, well, the length of no matter what.
Now, to help us understand the mindset, the preparation, and the vision board behind record-breaking feats, we're joined by two extraordinary Nigerians, a famous Isaacs and a documentary filmmaker and a culture advocate, is pushing the limits of storytelling and attempting the longest documentary film, capturing culture, inspiration, and human achievements on a scale never seen before. And of course, FaddotheGreat, a Guinness World Record holder, magician, is famed for 50-hour magic marathon, a record that demonstrates endurance, creativity, and relentless determination to inspire awe and push boundaries. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much for joining us. Famous, when she introduced you, when she said the famous Isaac, I'm like, the famous Isaac who? But then again, it's your name, famous. Famous, good to have you. And Faddo, I'm wondering how many magic tricks you had to perform for 50 hours non-stop. So let's start there. How did you achieve this feat? How did you get the world's attention? What inspired it and what has come of it? A lot of questions there, I know.
Okay, so let me start from the number of tricks that was performed during the record. Unique tricks, unique individual tricks, we prepared over 250 tricks. However, we prepared these tricks because we did not want to break the rule where you cannot, repeat a trick within 4 hours. But along the span of 50 hours, we performed over 1,200 tricks, which is a lot of tricks.
Wow.
Then a lot of tricks. Then the inspiration for this was, for me, for many Nigerians, Nigeria is the hub of entertainment. We lead in every major sector. And magic is also a major sector in the global space. However, in Nigeria, it seems non-existent. But we have a lot of magicians here, a lot of people that can do, amazing things. So I wanted to make a statement, not just for me, but for every magician and for Nigeria as well, that we can also develop this side of the industry. 30 December is 18, for example. We have a lot of comedy shows, music shows. There could be a great addition of magic into the mix of every entertainment that is going on within the country. So that was one of the biggest inspiration for wanting to attempt the record. Not just, putting magic on the map, putting Nigeria entertainment scene on the map as well.
Faddo, I'll commend you on this because there's a uniqueness around you doing the magic tricks, especially, like you said, it's a global thing, but it's a little bit, or very untapped in Africa. So I think I'd like to know from you, what inspired you to attempt a Guinness World Record in this, regard? And was it more about breaking the record, or was it about more awareness into the magic around?
Or did you get paid for it? How much did you get from the record? I don't know.
No. No. For a lot of people that attempt record, it's not about the money. So it was majorly about the awareness that attempting a Guinness World Record can create. And that was the major reason why we attempted that, because we were looking, what can we do to make a major impact in the country that will get a lot of people. Now a lot of people are talking about it. Now a lot of people are aware that we have magicians. Now with the record, I'm getting to share the news to people that I am not just the only magician. We have a lot of other magicians. And so I think us doing the record, achieving it and getting the confirmation from them is also helping to create the awareness. But it does not just stop at awareness. We want it to be an industry, and for that to happen, we need to have a community around it. We need to have a community of people that would love to watch this live. We need to have a community of other people that will be interested in learning, just grow the industry. We need to start having magic series specials on their TV stations. And we have a lot of magicians that can make this happen.
Father, you know how Nigerians feel about magic before they start calling you winch now. But Famous, Famous, let's come back. Let's come to you first time on this segment. Now, Famous, you're attempting something very unique. It's the longest documentary for culture. I suppose that this culture is going to be about Nigerian. What do you intend to achieve with this, apart from capturing the eyes of the world? What else do you expect to achieve with this longest documentary?
So there are several things on my list, but the biggest of them, because for me, this is not about the Guinness World Record. The record itself is I think is the least thing that I have on the scale of important things that I'm looking forward to. It's really not the most important thing. What is really important for me is that we are taking advantage of the platform, the global platform of the Guinness World Record, to give popularity, to give recognition, to give identity and representation to our ethnic groups, to our cultures, to our traditions in Africa, in Nigeria. Not just that, this is going to be the one time we get to do something, to get to hear stories from people who are custodians of the culture, talking about their own cultures, for the benefit of both the present and the future, especially for the future, because now we're having children who know nothing about our languages from back home, and in future we are going to have more of those. We are going to have children who do not know our cultures, have children who will not even know where we come from. But if those children in future get to have a place where they can always get to learn about accurate stories about their ethnic groups, their cultures, this is going to be the one place, and that's what we're really about.
That's very noble effort. I want to know, however, definitively, what exactly would you be showing inside of this documentary, inside of this film? What should we look forward to? Is it the people, the faces, the language? What exactly? I'll tell you why I'm excited about this, because personally, I'm an advocate for Nigeria. And I always tell people, you don't know so much about Nigeria because you haven't been, even if you live here. So I'm very excited that you're about to put our culture on the map, where it should have been, where it should be. But what mechanism do you intend to use?
Okay, so there are several places that this goes to. First of all, we are documenting culture. We are documenting history. So each of these ethnic groups have historical origins. Over the years, the problem we have had is a situation where people who neither came from a culture nor know enough about the culture start writing books and stories about that culture. And what results in that is misrepresentation. You have, I'm from Edo State. I'm from Esan ethnic group in Edo State. I have been to Yoruba land. I don't know so much about Yoruba culture. But imagine I get to visit Yoruba land in 1 week, and I come back to my state and I start writing a book. This is how Yoruba culture is. I would end up misrepresenting those people. But if I'm so interested in showing a Yoruba story, the rightful thing for me to do is to get to Yoruba land and get Yoruba people who have the authority to talk about, to share stories in a way, because they know much about the culture. They should be the ones to talk about the culture, which is what the approach that we're employing in this. So I'm going around 51 ethnic groups in Nigeria. We are getting to communicate with the people who are custodians of the culture, which is the kings or the people that the king is going to assign, maybe the chiefs or whoever it is that the king trusts enough to know about the culture. Get them to share stories from historical, talk about their history, talk about their traditions, talk about their culture, talk about their do's and don'ts. Basically everything. Talk about their food, their music, the things they do for money, economy, whether it's farming, agriculture, whatever it is. They talk about those. And for each of these ethnic groups, they're having a 2-hour feature. It's really important also to mention that each of these stories, because each of these ethnic groups have their own very unique, as traditions are very unique, so is language. So we are ensuring that the stories are being shared using the local language, the vernacular of these ethnic groups. So the Esan ethnic group is going to share, is going to be documented using Esan language, and then for the global community to be translated, I think subtitled to English, so that every other person can participate in the story, right? When the film is being premiered. So the language is going to be represented. We're also ensuring that whoever is sharing the story is going to be putting on the traditional attire of that particular ethnic group. So an attire that represents the people, right? So those ones are two things. Just within the week, it occurred to me that music is a very essential part of documentary, of in fact any movie, anything, any audio visual. And so we have now made plans that for each one of these ethnic groups, we are going to make sure that the sound that we use is going to be sound that represents the people. So we are not getting sounds from the internet. We're making sure that the sound that we are going to use, background sound, whatever kind of sound we are going to use when a particular ethnic group is being documented or is being premiered, the background sound you're going to hear is going to be the traditional sound that represents that people. So we have like an all-round representation of the people in a way that's going to really make people all over the world get to know, okay, these people exist, this culture exists, and these are the very beautiful things about them.
Famous, thank you so much. I mean, again, I really, really commend you for putting this together, especially as a, like you said, I think the breaking the record is just a platform for you to showcase what it is to really be Nigerian. I'm, like Mazino had mentioned, I really advocate for Africans telling the African story. And for me, I think that's the excitement around this. But a question that I'd like to ask you is in terms of execution and overall implementation, how do you intend to do this? Do you have some partners that you are or you have engaged for the delivery? And I say this because if we are saying that we want to put out African stories for the world to hear, the packaging and altogether editing and finishing of this is also quite critical and crucial for us to gain the necessary traction and attention. So in terms of partnership and overall delivery, can you give us a bit of insight with that?
All right, so as of today, we do have some partners. Global partner, we have UNESCO supporting the project. We've got NTA also supporting. We've also been able to get some support, endorsement from the Federal Ministry of Art, Culture, Tourism, and the Creative Economy. And we're looking forward to some more coming, possibly from MTN, from companies.
Okay, we get that. Yeah.
But of that, for the editing, we're really relying on the support of our team. In our team right now, we do have a number of video editors who have volunteered to come on board on the project and make sure that we're able to see this to the end. So when we are done with the filming, these ones are going to be the people who are going to edit. And we want to be able to make sure that we edit in record time, which means that we're going to need to onboard a number of editors. I mean, this is a 102-hour-long film. Each ethnic group is getting a 2-hour feature, local languages that some of these editors don't understand. So there's going to be need for a lot of conversations back and forth with the communities, making sure that the translations really reflect, the subtitling to English really reflect the thoughts that is expressed in the local language. So yes, a number of editors are actually on board with us as well. Safe to say, they are also partners.
Yes. That's great.
Well, Famous, I'm going to come back and ask you a question about intercultural translations when it comes to these methods and mechanisms that you're using as we are putting this not just for a Nigerian audience, but also for an international audience. But Faddo, let's come to you. You've been through this. You got a record. Walk us through exactly how the process was or how the process is to getting a Guinness Book World Record. What do you have to do? Is there any money involved, whether from you or to you?
The creative process or the work we had to do into achieving this record is actually a lot, because getting 250 tricks, that's a lot. And these tricks were made here in Nigeria. So step one was having to buy and consume over 500 lectures. So when I say lectures, you're buying lectures from experienced magicians who have been doing it for maybe 30 years and are willing to share some of their repertoires of tricks. And they then explain to you how these things can be built. Then you can take your own creativity and add your spice into it. And I did that consuming over 500 lectures, which took about over 4 months. Then stage 2 was now building these props. And a lot of money went into building all the props that we used. And that took us another about 5 months. Stage 3 was you now need to practice and script this record, because at the end of the day, magic is a performing art. You are presenting these tricks in a way that, makes it special to whoever is watching you. So we have to now go into the practice phase. That took another 3 to 4 months, perfecting all the tricks. Obviously, it continued after these 3 months. But why I'm saying 3 months is after the first 3 months, we did our first test run, did about 16 hours. Then we did another test run of about 15 hours. And we did the final test run 2 or 3 weeks to the event. So a lot of work went into it because, if this is a lot of people's first contact to the art form, you need it to be presented well. And, there was physical training of over a year that went into the entire process as well. So I would say there was a lot of work and a lot of money that was, put into making sure that everything was ready for the Guinness World Record.
And when you got the record, tell us about the wait, the anticipation, and the final moment when you actually did get the record, and what that means for a person to get a record. Are you simply just getting a plaque? Does that do anything for you, reputation-wise? Where can you take that to the bank?
So the feeling of getting the record, I'll start from there. I was shocked, I was grateful, I was happy. It's a combination of emotion because we are in a country where, a lot of records have been happening lately and a lot of people have been getting disqualified, which is sad because a lot of people put in work into this record. So even though we knew, my team and I, we knew we did our best, there's just this possibility that this is 50 hours. We can easily say, at 20-something minutes and 20-something hours, something happened. So getting the confirmation that we got it, I was super grateful. Then in terms of, now there's a level of expectation from not just Nigeria, even the global magic community, from a world record magician. A lot of people are already expecting, what's next? A show, are you doing a show? Are you doing a tour? How can you bring this closer to us? So now is the time to put in the work to actually now bring the industry part of magic to the world, because it's more than just performing. You have to, how can we perform and let it get to millions of people at the same time? So there's a lot of things in plan and a lot of expectation that we plan to make, and we're already putting the work to get there.
Is there monetary reward to getting a Guinness World Record?
I believe.
No, there's no monetary reward. You just get the plaque, and that's just
Inam raised her eyebrows. Inam raised her eyebrows. Inam, why did you raise your eyebrow?
Because actually I thought that there was. And I think it's very good that you actually enlightened us on this, because, let's talk about that. Let's talk about the fact that a lot of people have been attempting to break records in Nigeria, to say the least. I know that it was trending at one point where they said there should literally just be a Guinness Book of World Records primarily just for Nigerians, right? But let's talk about that. And I'll say this because I do know a few Nigerians that have attempted and broke records that were notable records, Mazino, not just, everyone has got their own creativity. We've got the longest Canva of a neurodivergent kid. I think his name was Kanye Yachuku. We've got Tunde Onukoya for the chess and slums. And we've got Hilda. We've got Hilda Bashi as well. It was the longest cookathon, and I think she also now attempted and broke another one of the biggest bowl or biggest pot of jollof rice. What's your take on that? Does that motivate you, or does it make you feel like another statistic in the book to say, well, here's another Nigerian attempting to break a record? And
I'd like Famous to be the one to answer that, because he's going for the record now. So tell us, are you just adding to a number of people who have just been making records? What does it feel like? What's your take?
Not just adding. Personally, I'm very grateful that these people have gone before us. They have been able to set the tone. They have been able to create, to bring in the global recognition into the Nigerian space. Now, I am one of those who are taking advantage of the seeds that these people like Hilda Bassi and Tunde Onakoya has set, right? And I'm taking advantage of that. when it occurred to me to attempt this, I mean, I was already working in the culture space, and I thought, okay, these people have already gone ahead to do something. I can take advantage of the opportunities, the window that they have opened, and do what I'm already doing and do it on a bigger scale. I mean, really, that's what this is.
I think for me, Mazino, thank you so much for that, Famous. And I think my takeaway before I let you go and ask your questions is, again, I definitely agree that there are some that are extremely notable. We commend anyone who even attempts to do it. I know we had a gentleman in Ghana as well that did the longest interview, something that I think you and I should contend to try and do, Mazino, by the way.
With News Central back.
Yes, but I mean, like I said, there are some really, really commendable ones. Again, like I said, the young boy who is on the spectrum, who did the biggest Canva painting, of course. And I think what drew attention to that from a global scale, which is what I think I'll revert to Famous again, is that after you have won the record, to translate that and make it something that raises awareness, not just necessarily, oh, well, I did it and it brings influence. I think that's something that
What's it a vehicle for?
Yes. What, Mazino?
What's it a vehicle for?
Yes, what is it?
What advocacy can you use it to carry? In this case, I see that culture is your thing, and which is very, we should appreciate it, but there's one thing, however. Now, the Guinness World Record is an international organization, and this is an international audience. Now, you did say that your documentary is going to be pure, in the sense that for every single culture that you cover, they are going to be sending this, they're going to be disseminating this message in their language, their colors, their mannerisms. And I'm wondering how you can translate this to an international audience to catch their attention without losing the identity of Nigeria. Because the international audience sometimes needs to be, spoon-fed our content. This is the reason why Nollywood seems a bit too modernized currently. So if we do not want to dilute your content, your documentary, how do you expect, what are your plans in trying to get the international audience to absolutely, apart from the subtitles, consume and buy into this dream?
The way I see about that is, look, we don't have to dilute anything. We don't have to spoon feed them. When we learned the culture of the international audience, they didn't dilute anything to benefit us. So if they get interested in learning about us, we should not simplify things. We should have to just present things the way they are. I will not go to these cultures and tell them, simply just do this in a way that other people are able to key into it. Be yourself. People who are interested in learning about you will dig in and learn about you. The easy way for them, the window to that is through the language, right? So the subtitle is going to be in English, so they are going to be able to connect through the language. If they are so interested in learning a bit more, they can travel down to Nigeria, which is where the tourism part of the thing comes from. I think
you just hit it there, and even Inam here agrees. You just hit it. If you want, travel down to Nigeria, and that is what we're so that's the big idea. But now let's take it further. Is Nigeria ready to welcome these guests? Do we have a proper tourism mechanism in Nigeria? Have you researched that? Do you think that your advocacy here or your efforts here can somehow translate into us having better tourism? And what plans do you have for that?
All right, so right now, in the process of planning this project, I have been in touch with people like Ken, who is a tourist who takes tourists to visit the Niger Delta area. Ken, the ambassador, I think that's his name on Facebook and some other social media platform. Shout out to him. But he's been doing very fantastically. He goes around from place to place. He records videos about Andoni, which is one of the villages in the Niger Delta. And then he posts this on global platform, and people get to see this because of the stories he shares. People come around and they say, okay, they want to visit a place like this. And then they contact him, and then he takes them around. Ken is a tour guide. And then there are other tour guides, say in the north, in the southern part, in the eastern part, there are tour guides. So if we do projects like this and we put it out and people are so interested, there are these people in the country that you can contact to take them around, for them to see live in person some of these stories that they have seen on screen or on social media. These platforms are there. Now, it's a different story for whether the government is doing something actively in that. I can't speak for the government. I won't be able to because I don't know enough. And I try to not make comments about things that I don't know enough about. So I think that's going to be for the ministry to answer.
They should travel down to you and say they want to partner.
So there's a bigger vision for something that I have, because we are documenting 51 ethnic groups out of the larger number that we have. As of my last check, and I'm not even sure that check is accurate, we have about 371 ethnic groups, not tribes, ethnic groups in Nigeria. As of my last check, although
371.
Reasons to doubt that number is even accurate, because I think it's more. So we are documenting 51 out of 371 that we currently have. If we document 51,
what is the oddest one? What is the oddest culture? What is the oddest culture you are documenting? I don't mean oddest in a bad way, but I mean, what would we find surprising in this culture? Which one of these?
I'm really looking forward to finding out.
Oh, you don't know yourself?
Because we have started, right? We have started. We haven't gone around all the 51 cultures. I can't really say. However, I'm looking forward to finding out. This is a learning opportunity about Nigeria for me, about even my own state for me. I come from Edo State. I don't know so much about the ethnic groups that I come from. I don't know so much about the ethnic. So I can't even stand here and tell you this is the history of my people. I can't tell you. I don't know enough. I am part of the other millions of Nigerians who are going to be learning about Nigerian cultures, who are going to be learning about my culture and their individual cultures, about their cultures through this documentary. I am going to be learning, and if I'm learning, you will be learning, and every other person will learn as well. But for now, we are still documenting, so I can't really say like from one culture to the other. But I mean, Nigeria generally has very beautiful cultures, and we're looking forward to seeing it all play out.
Looking forward.
Gentlemen, thank you so much for this insight. I love what you said about it's their responsibility to learn our culture as well, Mazino. If you remember, there was a song, 2024.
You're gonna have to sing it if
Yes.
you're gonna sing it.
And the song was so simple. It said, Jerusalem ikayalam dilondoloze.
You're not singing it.
Jerusalem ikayalami dilondoloze. We didn't have to teach anybody that song. It was a hit, and because they wanted to adapt into that, they learned it. So I commend you and I salute you for the fact that it's not our responsibility to spoon feed. If it is captivating as it should be, they will invite themselves to the table. So thank you so much for that authenticity. It goes to my monologue about the brand called Africa as well. So thank you so much to the both of you gentlemen for not just representing Nigeria, but for representing Africa as a whole.
This is the part where Faddo is going to give us his first magic trick for today and disappear. It's a joke. It didn't work. Sorry. Thank you very much, guys. We're looking forward to your records.